Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the privacy section of the weekly news roundup. These are recorded live Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch them live over there or just watch these short clips. Today's our privacy news. We are featuring the NordVPN affiliate link. If you are in need of a VPN, consider using Nord. My link is on the screen there. It will also be in the description down below. tlm.li/Nord. They'll allow you to connect up to 6 different devices simultaneously. And for using this affiliate link, you can actually get 3 years of access for $107. Great way to help support the channel. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the privacy news. And the first on the docket is a blog post from Brave. If you follow my channel, you know I'm not a huge fan of the Brave browser, but I have to give a tip of the hat and say kudos to you. They are taking the lead on something here. Now, this actual article was from last week. I missed it until this week. So basically, there is a new standard that is being discussed to insert into the web browsers and things. And this is called client hints. And the Brave browser blog post here does a really good job of indicating what is wrong with it. This has to do with that fingerprinting. The reason that I've been critical about the data collection in Ubuntu, people say, oh, it's just system information. Yes, but that system information can be used to de-anonymize you. It is called a system fingerprint. All right, so if you've ever used Tails and you've tried to maximize your browser, actually I think it's built into the Tor bundle, but I don't remember which one. It'll tell you, hey, don't maximize your browser because that can tell websites what your screen resolution is, and that is a means of fingerprinting. So what this new web standard is going to seek to do is it's going to seek to display images instead of the way as web developers we do images is we use CSS. And then the image will kind of scale up or down. This new web standard will actually utilize some different things to figure out how to serve images differently, but ends up creating a fingerprint. And this is what they're concerned with, is that this is a way to fingerprint, basically collect more information about your computer. So you visit a website, they can know what your screen resolution is. And the screen resolution is interesting because while so many things in computers are standardized, screen resolutions are all over the place. A decade ago, screen resolutions were very standardized. Now they're just all over the place. And it definitely is a way to de-anonymize you. So have a look at this article from Brave. Of course, check the description down below. There will be a list of where all of the articles can be found. They're over on switchedtolinux.com website. But they explain why these are problematic and how people can use these to track who you are and what you are doing. So kudos to Brave for that. No kudos, however, to Pittsburgh, who is now working with a variety of Silicon Valley tech companies to talk about data collection, sharing, carte blanche data sharing agreement between its citizens and the city for the purpose of pushing out smart city features. Pittsburgh, we can do without it. Y'all are already crazy because of your Uber stuff. Now we got the smart city stuff. Guys, as a Pennsylvanian, stay out of Pittsburgh. They're going crazy. There's something got in the water. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's all the way they talk about their coffee and all that other Pittsburgh-easy language. They wash their clothes and stuff like that. I mean, what is going on down there in Pittsburgh? What's going on, y'all Pittsburghese guys? But anyway, these Pittsburgh council person, must have been using Microsoft Word this week to do my talks here, but this person had a proposal that would authorize 2 city departments, mobility and infrastructure, along with innovation and performance, to enter in agreements with, quote, various entities in order to receive data sets or access to data sets or visualization performance that further the city's ability to deliver services to the residents. Who could these be? This could be data from Waze, which is by Google, and I think they talked also about Uber, a few other ones, because actually we're going to see here, is it going to be on this one? It might be on the next one. I don't remember. Somewhere in here we have some Uber stuff where they're looking at, it's in the next section. So that's on the business stuff. But Uber is now starting to measure even down to the street level you're tracking. Interesting. We'll get into that in the next news clip. But anyway, Pittsburgh is looking at doing massive data collection, utilizing all these Silicon Valley companies in order to collect data for their smart city stuff. So stay out of Pittsburgh, y'all. Tell them they've lost their ever-loving mind. Oh, Google. Oh, Google. Oh, Google. Oh, Google. So we've talked about this before. The reason I don't use credit cards, well, there's several reasons, but one of the primary reasons I don't use credit cards, I don't use Shoppers Club cards, even if you're doing online or offline tracking, we've heard about this before, how Google has access to up to 70% or more of transaction data, even offline data, and they can use this data to indicate how well sales is going to their partners. So this article from CNBC today just came out, and this is looking at Google uses Gmail to track history of the things you buy, and it's hard to delete. So this is kind of the overwhelming conglomeration between how Google has been collecting this data, but this is the first time we've seen a lot of detail about it. And apparently there's a tool in your Google account that you can see what data it has about you. Now, so the way this seems to work is if you are using a Google account or possibly an email connected to a Google account, whether you are doing an online purchase or an offline purchase, because, you know, you go and you use your credit card, and you can see that the credit card says, oh, that was purchased at Amazon, that was purchased at Weiss, that was purchased at Albertsons, that was, you know, you can see in your credit card statement where that was purchased. Well, if your credit card online account is also linked to your Google online account, that data is just shared. And so this is why one of the great things about having 25 different email addresses is I have different email addresses for everything. So there's no possibility of these things getting polluted and co-opted with each other, but this is how it's working. So this article just came out talking about the data collection and how this is going on. So there is apparently a page called Purchases. So if you actually go log in, myaccount.google.com/purchases, it will actually give you a list of all of the things that Google knows you purchased, because they've done such a great job of training us to use one email address. Now we're using that one email address. We're using that email address to sign into anything, sign into everything, and we've basically given them carte blanche, full on everything to everything. Guys, stop doing that. Don't use the big systems for your emails. Buy yourself a domain, set up these little domains, and use different emails for different things. You will thank me for it later, even though, oh, that's complicated. Maybe, but I just went ahead and used this tool and checked, and guess what? They don't got nothing on me. They don't got nothing on me. But basically it shows, now this guy says going back to 2012, the author of this article, who's been foolishly using a Gmail account for that long, and tied that account to everything. He says, made these purchases online using online services or apps such as Amazon, DoorDash, Seamless, or in stores, but never directly through Google. And he says he went in there and saw these. But because digital receipts went to the Gmail account, Google has a list of information about my buying habits. Online and offline data, that is what Google is doing to collect your information. So cancel them credit cards, delete the Gmail address, get rid of all these connections, get in there, delete all that stuff, and use cash. You're going to thank me for it in a few years. All right, so Google knows about things I forgot long ago, like dress shoes I bought inside a Macy's store September 14th, 2015. It shows he ordered a Philly cheesesteak on a hoagie roll with cheese whiz and banana peppers on January 14th, 2016. Creepy! I reloaded my Starbucks card in November 2014. I bought a new Kindle on December 18th, 2013 from Amazon. I bought Solo, a Star Wars story, on iTunes, September 14th, 2018. This is the amount of data it is collecting. Did you know about it? Did you ever opt in to collect this data? Did you ever say, Google, please collect this data? If you are unaware of this, hit a like button down there below. That's creepy, people. That's creepy. But not nearly as creepy as some of the police departments. Now, on the one hand of the country, I don't know what's going on. California is usually the one that's gone crazy, not New York. But over here in California, San Francisco, the city has banned facial recognition among a lot of city workers, but the police are just up in arms like, no, we need facial recognition. I mean, come on, without our pictures of Woody Harrelson, we can't figure out who that anonymous person was that robbed the supermarket. Really? So San Francisco government banned facial recognition inside the city for most services and most situations. So the police are fighting against this. They really, really, really want to use the facial ID, mostly because the police aren't looking for who did the crime. The police are looking for to lock somebody up for that crime. They don't care who it is. They don't care who it is. As long as you don't have a solid alibi and whatever else, you're going away, because they just care that the case is closed. They don't care about much more than that. But while San Francisco City is doing pretty good, the police are fighting against it. The New York police, wow. This is actually coming from a study from, who did this study? Let me go to the bottom and see if I can remember who did the study. This is a study at a university. I just can't remember what university it was now. I think it was like I don't know, Georgetown maybe. I forget. But anyway, 2014, a suspect was caught on camera reportedly stealing beer from a CVS in New York City. The store surveillance camera that recorded the incident captured the suspect's face, but it was partially obscured and highly pixelated. When investigating, police detectives submitted the photo to the New York Police Department and NYPD facial recognition system. It returned no useful matches. Rather than concluding the suspect could not be identified using facial recognition, however, the detectives got creative. One detective from the Facial Identification Section, FIS, responsible for conducting face recognition searches for the NYPD, noted the suspect kind of looked like the actor Woody Harrelson, known for his performance in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I wonder why they didn't list, like, Hunger Games, because that was a huge movie. It's not listed here. And other television shows and movies. A Google image search for the actor predictably returned high-quality images, which detectives then submitted to facial recognition algorithm in place of the suspect's photo. In the resulting list of possible candidates, the detective identified somebody they believed was a match. Not to Harrelson, but to the suspect whose photo had produced no possible hits. The celebrity match was sent back to the investigating officers, and someone who was not Woody Harrelson was eventually arrested for petty larceny. Here is literally a picture of the guy. All right, I don't think I can make that thing any bigger. Let me see if I can. All right, so there is about as big as I'm going to make it for you guys. Yeah, it definitely looks like Woody Harrelson, doesn't he? I mean, that's absolutely. I mean, that's Woody Harrelson all the way. So they go into this study looking at all of the different issues, looking at the facial recognition. This is a completely unhelpful picture, but this is actually from the recognition from Amazon. Completely unhelpful. I mean, that black dot clearly looks like this guy over here, but this is an interesting thing, though, because this is the type of thing they're using for data collection. They're trying to collect so many data points that they could throw the system in and it just spits out somebody. Now, the most significant part about this isn't the part that we thought. Like, the biggest controversy surrounding this is minorities, because apparently false positives are given for African Americans at a much significantly higher rate than for white guys. That was literally a white guy. I think the guy might look like Woody Harrelson a little bit. I don't know how he got Woody Harrelson. I mean, the nose is messed up. I mean, everything's messed up. I mean, the guy actually had hair. Harrelson doesn't have hair. And so, looking at all of this, what are they doing? I wonder if anybody's coming to the defense of this poor guy who was arrested going, you ID'd him based on a picture of Woody Harrelson. Really? I think that this entire case needs to be thrown out and someone at the NYPD needs to be hung up and beat with wet noodles for a little while. I mean, holy moly. This is insanity. This is insanity. This is how bad facial recognition is. This is why this needs to be banned countrywide. which is kind of hilarious. And no, Countrywide is not on your side. No, I don't know. That's nationwide, right? Anyway, what do you guys think? Are you deeply concerned with this facial recognition? What's your thought about this case in New York City? Let me know in the comments down below.